Every other month, Fondka, Friends of the New Deal Cafe Arts, hosts an art show and reception.
Artists who submitted their work, they made a donation to Fondka. So all the artists that are in this show, when they applied, they donated to Fondka to support us having shows here year-round.
Besides sponsoring art at the cafe, Fondka sees its role expanding.
In the past few years, Fondka's been trying to support the cafe and even the larger Greenbelt community and really step up their support for the center and for Greenbelt.
One of the great things about art and artists is learning to see in a new way.
Sometimes I paint, sometimes I sculpt. This piece that I included is of an abstract version of a kiss. So if you look closer to it, you'll see two tongues colliding, and there's just a lot of abstract designs into my work.
Oh yeah, that is the tree woman one. That is supposed to be a little bit more feministic, but she's just supposed to represent freedom and female, form being able to do whatever they want to do, because trees seem so free. Even though they're standing still, they just seem free.
So the painting I have showing today, I honestly was going to look at the heart, the physical heart, and something just morphed, and there's a little bit more abstraction with it. So the human body and nature really inspires me to create.
I'm an oil painter. I've painted since I was about 11 or 12, and my favorite subject really is doing landscapes, doing water scenes.
So I mainly do, as you've seen, portrait work, realistic work, very large work by the foot. My smaller pieces are like 4 feet by 6 feet. That's a very small piece compared to my normal work.
And every art opening needs music.
I love making music, and I love playing the cello. The cello is so versatile, from jazz to classical to the Middle Ages, rock. I just love the cello.
It's very beautiful to be a part of this show and meet like minds and share art.
Andy Z here with the Greenbelt Minute.
Hi, and thanks for joining us for another What's Coming Up Next at the Old Greenbelt Theater. We're joined as usual by Kelly, and she's here to tell us what is going to come up in the movies and what's coming up for the specialty series for this next week. So Kelly, let us know.
Well, we're in for another week of Mary Queen of Scots, and it's been going great. People have had lovely things to say about the movie, so we're holding it over one more week. So this is your very, very, very last chance to see Mary Queen of Scots. If you've been waiting, wait no more.
Worth it to see in theaters because Saoirse Ronan really kills it in this movie.
She really does. She really does. So this is your last week. If you've been waiting, stop waiting. Come out this week because it is going away after this week. And we are starting on Friday, January 11th. We will have On the Basis of Sex. It is the new biopic about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Some people have been saying they should have called it the Notorious RBG, the early years. It's Felicity Jones as RBG, and she is just on fire in this movie, and I'm so excited that we get to bring it here. I've been waiting for this movie, so as have a lot of people, so we're very, very excited.
This one looks great. I'm really excited to see it too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's starting on Friday, January 11th. So come see Mary Queen of Scots if you've been waiting, and
then right after.
And right after, make your plans to come see On the Basis of Sex. Yeah.
And so what else? You said there's all the new series are up on the online, and you're about to tell us about them too?
Yes, yeah. So all of our series, all your favorites, Stage on Screen, Monday Matinees, and our family series is now, we're calling it OGT Kids. And we have some great titles for you this spring. The first of our Monday Matinees is going to play on January 7th. It's always at 1 o'clock on Monday. And we've got An Affair to Remember from 1957, and these are our classic films. They're just wonderful movies. So we're going to kick it off with An Affair to Remember. We've got some great movies programmed for that. Our first OGT Kids movie this spring is going to be Pee-wee's Big Adventure from 1985, so my childhood. And that will be on Saturday, January 12th.
And that one's a Tim Burton movie, right?
It is a Tim Burton. It's one of his very first movies.
Surprises me.
Yeah, I know, me too. I always forget that that's in his repertoire. And then we've got, for our Stage on Screen series, we have The Winter's Tale from Shakespeare's Globe. So it's theater that was live videotaped from the restored Globe Theatre in London. And it's just one of Shakespeare's kookiest, most mystical plays, and so we're really excited to bring that to everybody.
Good timing too.
Yes,
during the winter.
Yes, during the winter, yes. And so that will be playing Sunday, January 13th and Monday, January 14th. So check out our website. We've got all of those times on there, and all of the rest of the series are up there. I'm really excited about our OGT Kids series. We've just got some classics. We've got Jumanji.
Some of your favorites.
Some of my favorites from my childhood. We've got some great new groundbreaking animation, Japanese anime. We've got Song of the Sea, which is one of my all-time favorite, just stunning animation. So we've got so many great things planned for our family series.
Not just for kids, a lot of those.
Not just for kids. Song of the Sea that came out in 2014. It's still one of my favorite animated films. So, and I was not a child then. So yeah, it's we've got some really great animation coming up.
So, do you guys have any more series that you guys do later on in the year?
So we do some specialty series on and off, so stay tuned and we'll see. We've done others in the past. We've done Science on Screen with documentaries about different issues in science. We've had Stranger Origins was one of our most attended series about the movies that kind of inspired the movie Stranger Things, or the Netflix series Stranger Things.
Wow.
So we've done a lot of different stuff. We did Leading Ladies for a while, so some of the best actresses of the silver screen era,
I love these series that you guys are doing.
Yeah. So our staples are the Stage on Screen, the Monday Matinees, and OGT Kids. But we try and also bring other specialty curated things to everybody. So yeah,
Great.
Just keep an eye on our website, keep an eye here. We'll watch this every week and you'll get the latest.
Yeah, all right, well thank you so much again for watching, and thanks Kelly for telling us everything every week. And we hope to see you on the next one.
There are 178 laws that differentiate on the basis of sex. Women can't work overtime. We have to get credit cards in our husband's name. We're not allowed to work in the mines.
This is a man's world. You think you can change the country? You should look to her generation. They're taking to the streets.
Protests are important, but changing the culture means nothing if the law doesn't change.
What did you say your name was?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I want to be a lawyer. I want to represent clients in pursuit of justice.
So they're gonna give you a corner office?
I wasn't what they were looking for. One said women are too emotional to be lawyers. Another told me a woman graduating top of her class must be a real ball buster. I worked hard. I did everything I was supposed to, and I excelled.
Martin Ginsburg will be signing all of our checks someday.
You're a smart girl, Ruthie. You married a star.
If the law differentiates on the basis of sex, then how will women and men ever become equals? I don't read tax court cases.
Read this one.
The law assumes a caregiver has to be a woman. This is sex-based discrimination against a man.
Poor guy.
We need to take this case.
This is not a case. This is a declaration of war.
It could topple the whole damn system of discrimination.
They think gender equality is a civil right.
What's at stake is the American family.
Let's put this idea to bed once and for all. You will lose. And when you do, you will set the women's movement back 10 years.
You don't get to tell me when to quit. I know this case disrupted our lives. Who's it for, if not for me? You cannot be
You've been ready for this your whole life. So go in there and let the judges see the Ruth Ginsburg I know.
We're not asking you to change the country. That's already happened without any court's permission.
The word woman does not appear even once in the U.S. Constitution.
Nor does the word freedom, Your Honor.
Since 1998, the Greenbelt Association for the Visual Arts, GAVA, and Greenbelt Access Television, GATE, have offered GAVA GATE animation classes for youth 10 and above. Our shorts have screened at more than 80 film festivals worldwide and have garnered many Youth Filmmaker Awards. Winter classes start in January 2019. Contact Mr. Geo, George Koschel, Gates Animation Facilitator, for more information.
I've had feelings of anxiety and depression for most of my adult life. But when I suffered a panic attack and had thoughts of suicide this past spring, I knew I was in trouble and needed professional help. I'm sharing my story because I want to be a voice for those who may be struggling. You don't have to hit rock bottom before you reach out for help. I'm grateful to Greenbelt Cares for giving me the help that I need. Greenbelt Cares can be reached at 301-345-6660. The Prince George's County Crisis Hotline is 301-429-2185. So please reach out for help and get the help that you need and deserve, because your life matters too.
On the Basis of Sex is a 2018 film starring Felicity Jones, Armie Hammer, and Justin Theroux. It was directed by Mimi Leder, who is mostly known for directing TV, and written by Daniel Stiepelman, who happens to be Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's nephew. The film follows our Supreme Court justice before she made the bench, from her first years at law school through the case that launched her career as a staunch equal rights defender for women. Although her life makes for an incredible story, the film itself comes across as a rather formulaic biopic. As with most biopics, there is little exploration into the more complex parts of what makes her human, and what we get is a flattened, always likable, but overall generic character. Felicity Jones does a decent job with the part she's given, and it seems to be a fairly accurate portrayal of this part of RBG's life. I guess that's a benefit of Ruth helping her nephew edit the script. It was a little off-putting to see the notorious RBG portrayed in a sexual context, but it's Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer playing her and her husband, so I mean, I'm not complaining. Their relationship is beautiful and romantic and doesn't sound too far off from reality, so that's cool. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, in her relative youth, is presented as playful and determined and most of all, incredibly intelligent. There's no precedent for her being strong and arguing before the final showdown in the courtroom. Although with the utmost credit, we could grant that this mirrors the case she's given to defend. The case and the issue of gender equality codified in Supreme Court rulings has no precedent at this point, which is the major obstacle for her to overcome. Just as when Ruth argues well for this case in court, there's no precedent for her making successful arguments before this. She, like the case, is shot down by people who see gender discrimination as natural order. The strange thing is, some of the moments where her arguments fail could be considered good argumentation, just not the way Felicity Jones sells it. She comes across as a little too earnest and simpering instead of the dry-witted and unshakable juggernaut I want to believe Ruth Bader Ginsburg always was. Like, for example, in an early scene, the Harvard dean asked the 9 young women who got into Harvard why they deserved to be there over a worthier male candidate. Apparently this really used to happen. And she replies something like, "Why, to better understand my husband's work." But the way Felicity Jones says the line doesn't make it seem sarcastic at all. And this sort of earnest performance continues in every scene where Ruth needs to make a case for herself. Had she embodied a more confident and quick-witted version of the role, I think Ruth's failures would have felt more systematic than individual, systematic injustice being a major theme of the case the film is centered around. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is someone who changed this country with her opinions, her voice, and her courage, and I don't necessarily feel like this encapsulates her power. And I get the feeling that's by design. The film was very clear in wanting to focus only on this one case, a case that started her career as a lawyer fighting for gender equality, and the case that set the precedent for abolishing legal sex discrimination. It's also genius that she and her husband used a case where a man was being discriminated against based on his gender instead, even if the case was as lackluster as tax law. It shows the humble beginnings of it all, and the heart and bravery that had to be invested for her and her cause to even stand a chance. But I don't know that it was the right choice to make an entire feature-length film about. While I find Felicity Jones absolutely endearing, and she does look a bit like the young RBG, I don't know that she was the best choice to depict her in this film. Considering this was Daniel Stiepelman's first writing credit ever, he did a bang-up job. The directing isn't bad either, but I wonder if the combination of amateur screenwriter and TV movie director made for a more generic film, or if the subject matter is the problem. All in all, a movie with enjoyable individual parts to it, but nothing to set it over the top. That's my take on The Basis of Sex. See you next time.
Today, we bring you the first part of our global broadcast exclusive conversation.
The streets of Tahrir have once again been filled. People are chanting against Shafiq, chanting against the...
Key issues here at the United Nations Climate Change Conference remain unresolved, including the future of the Kyoto Protocol.
The forests of central India and the protesters in Wall Street are connected by a big pipeline.
Kenneth Chamberlain, the 68-year-old veteran, fatally shot by police in his own home.
He was proud to be a Marine.
At every block, police are saying to the protesters to move further and further away.
I'm Amy Goodman.
And I'm Juan Gonzalez.
And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!
Democracy Now! Plays on Gate at 7 p.m. every weekday and repeats at 10 p.m., midnight, and 8 a.m. Greenbelt Access Television, Comcast 77, Verizon 19. Have any comments or questions? Please contact us at greenbeltaccess@gmail.com or give us a call at 301-507-6581.
Is your heart on fire for the best in entertainment? Join host William Powell, also known as the King of DC Media, as he takes you down the red carpet and gives you the inside scoop on film premieres, festivals, and stage shows in the DMV. Inside Acting is a show created to show you the inner workings of film, theater, and TV. Watch the Inside Acting TV show Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m.
You're watching GATE, Greenbelt Access Television. Verizon Fios, Channel 19, Comcast, Channel 77.